Chikawa?
Chikawa is a Japanese cartoon, a little like squirrel, and it's much cuter, and it actually gives proper life lessons. I don't know what Labubu provides besides just overconsumption, but Chikawa is the real deal. That's like good for kids.
All right, so like, okay, we're in the domain of anime now, and
yeah, you're
now there's
sure.
you're like, this is my
like
this
the
is your
mascot culture of
your
like
dojo,
Japan.
yeah.
And Labubu is originally, it's gone into some sort of weird hype speculative asset thing now. I don't really understand. Like, it's the same thing as Dubai chocolate, where it's just like, yeah, I'm sure that tastes fine, and then you see people on the internet going insane for it. And it's like, I don't understand why you're going insane for it. But Labubu, I believe, as a entity, was about like the confluence of ugly and cute at the same time. Was kind of like the general attitude of it, of just like, it's kind of okay to be ugly, or like you can be kind of cute but mischievous or whatever. So that's where I'm at. Uma, you're giggling. What's going on here?
It's just like, it's okay to be ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chinese state felt the need to.
I think it's actually from. Well,
it's from Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it from Hong
It's
Kong?
from Hong
So you take it back now? Do you take it back? You change your mind?
Yeah. I've known from day one that Labubu is bad. So I will not defend it.
It's just because Kieran, I think, yeah, sure, there was a craze about the Dubai chocolate thing, but at least you could eat it.
You can eat a Labubu if you try.
Yeah, but like
anything is edible if you try hard enough.
There's like that French guy.
Like,
there's that French guy who's like eating like 6 Cessna planes or something like that. So, put your mind to it. Stop being a fucking pussy and eat your Labubu.
Ew. That sounds
Labubu platter.
Yeah, the Labubu platter.
Yeah, Labubu is like made by a Hong Kong Dutch designer, but like it's a Chinese company.
Oh, well then in that case I defend it.
Yeah.
All right, I take that back. I take everything back. Labubu's good. Labubu is teaching the principles of Dangism. We have to, I listen to Labubu. I'm here to, I hear Labubu out, and it is okay to be ugly.
You're sitting your white ass down.
Yeah, I'm sitting my white ass down and listening to Labubu.
The only place I see them being sold is like those vape / secondhand phone shops.
But they're fake ones.
Yeah.
But honestly, whatever this shop needs to do to keep itself going as a front for the Turkish mafia, I'm salute.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, oh, go on. Sorry.
No, they opened the Labubu official store today in Berlin, and there was a 1 kilometer long fucking queue to buy them.
Yeah.
Which I truly don't understand.
Labubu is a
I'm
reverse
so
opium
sad
war.
that I didn't get the Honkai Star Rail Burger that one time. That one live show
during our live show. Yeah, what the fuck was that? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Culture.
So I guess we are talking about Labubu on this episode.
No, we're done with Labubu.
Okay.
Labubu is
No, how dare you, Isaac? It's over.
It's over, yeah.
All right, so you guys...
We've all arrived at the left position on Labubu.
Yeah, it's good because it comes from the PRC.
Yeah, my piece for Jacobin.com.
I mean, someone left the Labubu on fucking Marx's grave, so like that just says everything.
Yeah, that is Karl Marx. You would have loved Labubu.
Someone like solemnly putting it down on Marx's grave was like, "We did it. We did it." Hey, welcome to your weekly Corner Späti. It is me, Kieran. I'm joined by Uma.
Hello.
And Nick.
Hello.
And all the way in from the United States of America, resident Labubu expert, it is Isaac from COEXIST Pod. How you doing?
Howdy.
Yeah. What are we talking about today, Nick?
We're talking about lifestyle, music, crazy things, fun time, party, extreme time. Wow, crazy. Live your life. Best time, Berlin. Yeah, but not Berlin. Actually, what is it? Belgium? Is that where Tommorrowland is? Evil.
It's the fucked part of Belgium. It's the Dutch speaking side.
Oof, yeah. Just annex it. I don't care who gets it. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, I guess this is common to the old headlines there, because Belgium has put its fucking money where its mouth is for the first time, and has actually gone and it arrested and questioned 2 IDF soldiers who were on holiday at Tommorrowland to kind of like be like, hey, you've committed some war crimes. We just want to talk to you real quick about that. They were brought in for questioning. They were identified. The case is still ongoing, I believe, but they're no longer in custody. So I don't know where this is
So
going.
they're back in Israel, probably.
Yeah, they're. Yeah.
I know the Tommorrowland calls too much. I gotta go back.
That is really like it is true, because I was like kind of, you know, I guess like the general realm of this discussion is just the like the one of Israel's oddest cultural exports, which isn't even like the music itself, it's being attracted to the music. Like how this is just such like an ingrained part of this society, where it is like but it is very funny it's not funny, just of like the amount of videos that I've seen this week of just the amount of Israelis at Tommorrowland just like being evil, of just like when they're like, oh, are you proud of wearing an Israeli flag? And they're like, yeah, like I'm proud to be Israeli. I'm proud of what we're doing. I support the government, you know. And they're like, oh, but I'm here for peace and love.
I mean, I did say in the group chat of like, there are 2 types of like trance music fans, which are like the people who genuinely have like love and compassion and a real cosmic sense of infinite empathy for everyone on the earth, and then the other type is people who've committed war crimes. So it is just like real sweet and sour kind of concept. But also, I think hilariously, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure everyone who's committed the war crimes also thinks they're the other category of person. Like they genuinely think they are the ones who have infinite empathy for everyone. And it's just like, yeah, but I've killed. Of course. I have taken someone's life. But yeah, someone needs to talk to me about Tommorrowland, because this is the first I've heard of this place.
Have you you've lived in Europe
What?
for how long?
Yeah.
Your whole life? And you're unaware of Tomorrowland?
Well,
No,
as
I
the
don't-
American,
why
I would
would-
like it explained to me, because I am deeply unfamiliar with Tommorrowland.
Okay. I mean,
These people.
it is like how
I live in Florida, okay?
yeah,
Give
that's
me a break.
fine. I mean, like, you know,
I'm so sorry.
we brought you on to talk about, again, like I said, like the cultural impact of these things, which I guess we'll get to, but I guess we did have a 101, what is like the most oddest, dumbest. Oh no, because the U.S. also has some pretty garbage festivals too.
And I've been to them.
Yeah.
That's why you brought me on.
Yeah.
I am your resident rave expert, but also
or wook.
you're also Israeli expert, being half Jewish on my father's side, which makes me a silver Jew, so the most Jewish Jew, because even my own people don't accept me. But I have been to many festivals with Israelis, and I've been to India with Israelis, so I can tell you a lot about Israeli.
They love going to. Please tell me you were in Goa.
I was not in Goa. I was in Himachal Pradesh, where the Dalai Lama is. On the other side of the mountain is all Israeli. It's I shit you not. The signs are in Hebrew on this side of the mountain.
Fun.
No, not fun at all.
I guess just to put it as simply, Tomorrowland I think is like the biggest electronic music festival in Europe, but it's like very much just like it is what the American brain assumes that then like Europeans listen to. Like it is like a lot of like Psytrance and like what's that fucking like the bad subgenres of house and stuff like that like also
Dubstep.
No, dubstep's its own genre.
I don't know.
Like
It's fine, but sure, yeah, like in that vein of just like, you know, like yeah, just shit that you would hear in like Ibiza or, you know, Mallorca.
when the American says funky beats, I'm assuming this is what they.
No. This is like, it's weird because Tomorrowland is the stuff that comes over to the United States and like does quite well. Like, you know, even like stuff. Yeah, like I don't.
It's like the most mainstream stuff.
Exactly,
like Tiesto,
like Tiesto shit. Yeah,
Tiesto
exactly
shit.
like that Swedish house mafia.
So we're not
all that
very far
garbage.
departing from like the legacy and tradition of like Cascada.
Exactly, but bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
Eurodance? What if you took Eurodance but just like made it broier? Then you're fine. Like,
Oh, sure.
yeah.
When I was 16 and I was on my I'm not like other girls phase, I wanted to go to Tomorrowland so bad.
That rocks.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
literally, no, I'm like sweating.
So in other words, it's almost like the
It's so
Coachella
embarrassing.
of Europe because it's like a normie.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very normie, and I think
Mhm.
that's the thing too of why it, because it does. I think that then one of the reasons of why it does attract Israelis so much is its norminess of it. There is,
Mhm.
I feel that then a general normie sense to when it comes to electronic music of how this country. This is me simply just looking into it. You can absolutely correct me, but I feel that then it's like Israel's like when they get into like an electronic music genre, it kind of falls into like the like bro step categories of stuff. Like what is the like what's the stuff that then like frat guys in the US can get into?
Right.
And I feel that that's like very much like a there is like a similar you know kind of interest within there. But Europe is also too in the sense that then it's like every like Coachella is interesting because like everyone plays there, you know?
Mhm.
Like there was even like I remember seeing, was it like this year or last year? It was like a big deal that then I mean, like everyone from like I don't know, like Odd Future to like whatever,
There isn't like a
Green
genre
Day was
guide.
there.
Green Day,
guardrails
yeah,
on it.
Green Day was there this year. Charlie XCX stuff like that, but then also like some years like Danny Elfman has played
Right. That is true. Yeah.
Coachella.
Simpsons theme.
Yeah, he played like it's very silly and or you know there was like they even have like heavier acts too like I know that then like Knocked Loose played Coachella like this or last
I
year.
think Death Grips played Coachella once
Death Grips
too.
played
yeah.
Coachella as well. So it's kind of like there's a
Kneecap was in Coachella as well.
yeah, true. It's
for some
just like
reason.
it's like
It's more akin, like Coachella feels more akin to Glastonbury in the sense
Yeah.
that it's just
music.
It's music, and like if you're big enough, you can play here. Whereas like Tomorrowland is genre specific.
Yeah, and Europe has I think a lot more genre specific festivals because there is like, you know, for Tomorrowland, for like metal you have like Wacken or Hellfest
Yeah.
or whatever and stuff like that, and then for like you know there's also, there's like a big rap festival too here that I forget, but anyway, yeah, this is like the bad EDM festival, like.
EDM feels like the right word. EDM is definitely the genre I think of first with Israel, and then maybe Goa.
They're
the
connected,
city
though, yeah.
and the genre of music.
So yeah, I guess then in the sense too of then kind of branching off from there, the reason why then you know where to start with then your experiences. What was your like first time of experiencing one of Israel's oddest cultural exports? Of like how did you kind of like find yourself constantly in connection with this? Because I find it very fascinating that then when I mention this to you, you're like, oh, I've done this a lot. Like,
Well, I've definitely gone to my fair share of festivals. I also did Birthright back in 2014, just as sort of like an experiment. I was not convinced by their lazy propaganda and them trying to get us to hook up with all the girls, even though they said don't do that, but actually do that. There is just like a general club culture, and there are Israelis everywhere. It's not that they pick one particular genre. But the strongest genre is Psytrance. Psytrance is the Israeli like soundtrack, and there's even a documentary about it. Their relationship to Psytrance and why Psytrance is so important to them. And then the Nova Festival was a Psytrance festival. I can't remember the first time it became clear to me because I think even though like I'm Jewish or whatever, my awareness of Israelis, they just seem like Europeans with like weird French accents. That's kind of how they came across to me. So it was only very recently that they became I became more aware of Israelis and this relationship they have to festivals and Psytrance. But ever since then, it's like I broke the seal and they're everywhere. The first experience I had was actually I went to Burning Man with the son of the vice prime minister of Israel.
That rips.
Yeah.
That is the funniest.
For 24 hours. Yeah, he called me.
Was he only vice president or like prime minister for 24 hours, or were you there for 24 hours?
We were at Burning Man together. We were at Burning Man together for 24 hours. He called me because I met him in Israel and we became friends. That was before I feel the way I feel now. He's still okay, I guess. But because he's always beefing with Netanyahu's son, Yair.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're constantly beefing with each
Like
other.
the two fail sons just going at it. That rocks.
His name is Nimrod. And he called me. We're both in New York, and he called me one day. He's like, "Hey, Isaac, can you drive?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, we're going to Burning Man." And the next day, tickets to Burning Man, tickets to Reno, tickets to Burning Man. He's like, "Okay, we can only go 24 hours, but that's okay, right? You okay with that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So yeah, we went there. We stopped by Walmart, and he bought like an insane amount of shit, even though we were only for 24 hours. He told me it was his Holocaust mentality.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What are you like stockpiling for Burning Man because you have Holocaust trauma?
I don't know. He bought like tons of like cans of soup. Even I was just like, "What do you think is gonna happen?"
Oh my lord!
We only need water, dude. We only need water. And I managed to lose him at one point. He took a bunch of acid, and I took Molly, and then he just disappeared. I was like, he's gone. But I managed to find him like 5 minutes before we were supposed to leave. It was
perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect. But ever since then, yeah, like every festival I've been to has been littered with Israelis, and Burning Man in particular is a big event for Israelis, and that's what was so interesting about last year's Burning Man. It was sparsely attended for the first time. It was the first time they actually didn't sell out.
Oh, because of the lack of Israelis.
And I think because they couldn't travel as easily. I mean, there were all those flights that got canceled. So I think that was a big part of it. And the first time in like 20 years, Burning Man did not sell out.
That's,
that's crazy. But also, isn't Burning Man like not actually a festival?
It
like,
is.
did they... Or it is.
It's like a
because I don't know what. So just like you didn't know what Tommorrowland is.
You don't know what Burning Man is. That's fine.
Think I know what Burning Man. Like I know it's some like in my head it's just like a bunch of hippies in the middle of the desert,
Used
like
to be.
burning shit.
Used to be. But
now it's like a bunch of like tech bros and shit and like accelerationists.
Yes, it's now where I believe RFK Jr.'s vice president, when he ran, I can't remember her name right now.
Oh yeah. I forgot about her.
Who was a CIA agent? I believe.
Perfect.
Or no, she was married to Sergey Brin, the CEO of or founder of Google. She cheated on him with Elon Musk, became the VP candidate for RFK Jr., and she got ceremonially married at Burning Man. To a CIA agent.
This is the thing too of just like the level of op shit that is like always around this like type of stuff. Because I remember that there was years ago. I remember there was a very good Jacobin article about how like garbage Burning Man is. Of like that it's like this thing where people will go and give their labor for free to like these tech CEOs that they can like be near them and like they can like build their facades for them, not get paid.
It's definitely a networking event now. It's
Absolutely.
like a rite of passage. It's like like you can level up if you've been to Burning Man or something like that. But basically what it is, it's like 7 days in the desert. You're not supposed to use money. Like money, you're not supposed to exchange money at all. It's supposed to be this sort of like libertarian dream of organizations around a money-free society. And it has these like radical notions of inclusion and all this kind of stuff. So like there was like some beauty to it initially, but again, it was founded by like Silicon Valley, San Francisco people. So surprise, look at what it is now. Look at what it really is. And you'll see that it's still fun though. I gotta admit, like you can still have fun there. But yeah, everyone's saying it's not what it used to be. But like we were saying the other day, it's like we're always behind.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
we're never there when it's happening.
Yeah, but the fact that just the level of I did getting ceremoniously married to a CIA agent at Burning Man is the wackiest thing that. It is the perfect encapsulation of the current American ideology, especially like the Trump like kind of schizo Trump voter who's like, oh, like I don't trust pharmaceuticals and whatnot. But yet I fall for like every like Mossad op.
Yeah, exactly. And they also have a lot of art at Burning Man, where these people build these very elaborate structures, and they are quite impressive. I mean, there's no subtlety to this. There's zero subtlety. So if you abandon that pretense of like needing to look at the layers and just being like, look at this fucking spectacle, you can kind of enjoy it. And that's what happened last year at Burning Man, was there were 2 art projects. One was canceled. It was actually going to be a giant watermelon to represent Palestine. And the organizers canceled it because all the Israelis their customers, their main customer base, complained. What they did have was a recreation of the Nova Festival. So they actually without Hamas, so not as cool. But so yes, it was like a Nova memorial, and they built it in the same way, and they had all these like, you know, woe is us things going on. So yeah, that's like present day Burning Man. I'm very curious. It's coming up this month. What it might be like, considering
you're not going. You're not getting your.
If I can arrest some Israelis, I can citizens arrest for war crimes some Israelis, I will most certainly go.
Yeah. So then, in the sense of like that being, I mean, like you said, you went with like the son of the former prime minister. Yeah. Or was it prime minister or vice prime minister?
It's some of the vice prime minister.
Vice prime minister. Okay, so not quite as impressive as.
Sorry.
What is it, Yair? Netanyahu.
I did not go with Yair.
that would have rocked. Just imagine just like all the racist rants that you probably would have.
Oh,
heard
it would have
from
been
him.
interesting. Yeah, good story.
But so then like you have this experience where you kind of notice that there's this vibe. And then how like when does it kind of like click to you that this is like, yeah, like as I've mentioned, this like bizarre, like this clubbing cultural export, Psytrance is the Israeli way of life?
I guess it really didn't become so present to me until October 7th. I think that really is when it completely crystallized for me, because there are all these like subgenres of trance music and all this stuff, and most of it's kind of boring. It's really fun when you're on drugs, obviously. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing, is like Psytrance, the way they describe themselves or their relationship to Psytrance is that it's a way for them to forget. It's a way for them to exercise their demons. And that's what's in this documentary. They say precisely that this one soldier saw another soldier like murder and kill a man and faced no punishment, and it hurt him really badly that happened. And so what he needed was MDMA and Psytrance to get over it, to forget about
just
what
a casual
happened.
DJ set to...
And they like to think that there's this sort of special relationship that Jews have to dancing. And I mean, you'll see this with the Haredim a lot, where they dance in circles. Like there's this ecstatic dance component to Judaism. But that's not unique to Judaism. Yeah. The idea that they like to talk about how it's like, oh, this is what we do, like, and it's special that we do it. But of course, everyone has their own version of it. But it's part of the story that they tell themselves, is that there's this dance that we do that's part of our culture. And Psytrance, do you guys know what Psytrance sounds like? Do you know?
I do, yes.
Do you want to describe it?
Describing a sunset. Jesus. How would you describe it? I'm trying to think of like, how do I describe it in such a way that sets it apart from like trance or other genres of electronic music? No, I'm ill-equipped to do this.
I guess it's like...
I'll just mute myself and listen to something.
Yeah.
You guys,
IDF official Psytrance remix. Yeah.
Do they have a YouTube channel?
I'm sure Spotify has cursed playlists.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you get results on Spotify for searching Austrian painter, then you definitely have got to get an IDF Psytrance official playlist.
Well, there was that one soldier who was arrested for, or at least was found to be the one who killed that young Palestinian who was trapped in the car. And I found his SoundCloud. And he's a DJ. And he makes Psytrance music. And I think part of it is like, it's shit. But it's also just very boring, very simple, like kind of, they don't have like hard bass. It's kind of like almost clicky in a way. And it's like this sort of like, it's got these like borderline subliminal tones to it that I guess is how you get into like the psychedelic trance component of it. But it's definitely in the lesser of all of the EDMs. I don't think it's not that popular outside of Israel, I wouldn't think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I interacted with Psytrance there was just like it was in South Dublin. It was like a drug dealer sponsored like lock-in at someone's like house, and there was like decks set up and everyone was drinking. There's just cocaine out on the table, that kind of thing. And then it was just going into the living room, and I was like, we're doing a Psytrance set. And I just like walked back out and just hung out with people in the garden being like, I'm good, man. There's something about Psytrance being played in like a, 2 by 6 meter big room that really, I think, ruins it slightly.
Uma, what's your review? I just saw your like your like a facial expression.
The biggest temptation I've ever had to make this a video podcast was just Uma's live reaction to Psytrance.
Yeah. I mean, what can I say? It's just I noticed like all the songs have some sort of fucking quote unquote spiritual name. Like fucking, I don't know, Nirvana, Zen,
yeah.
fucking body, mind, and soul, or like literally, or just, it's shit. I don't know. It's just like it's exactly what I was picturing in my mind.
Yeah, it does have that Eastern thing because I think it's also interchangeable with Goa trance because it was developed in India by British people. Of course, it starts with them. But yeah, you're right. And when you look at the aesthetic of it, it's a very like jungle-esque, like there's a lot of bare skin. It's not industrial. It's not like people wearing black. It's very skimpy, like linen-y sort of clothing. And the dance style, there's actually a people who will tell you how to dance to Psytrance, and it's like that very woo-woo sort of like arm movement.
Yeah.
Like flowy.
I mean, it's white people with dreads.
Yes,
basically.
very white people with dreads coated, for sure.
Yeah. There is like...
And like mandala kind of fucking shit.
That stuff, like, especially the Goa trance stuff is actually really big in Berlin, and everyone just kind of forgets about it because they're like, oh, Berlin techno.
Really?
Yeah. There's a festival called like Nation of Gondwana or whatever that's like just outside of town, and it's like a huge Goa fest. And it's
Rob's obsessed with Goa.
Rob, I think Rob's
and like because he likes it.
No,
or
I don't think he
just...
likes it. I think he likes the vibe of it. He's just kind of like he's intrigued by it. Like
yeah, like back when we were doing Euro vibes, the only other person other than myself who added videos to the big long playlist was Rob, and it was just him combing through YouTube by various keywords plus Goa to just find more insane like Euro vibes of. The white people with dreads side of Europe, which like
so it was like an obsession in a academic study.
Yeah. There was a learned quality to this, and like I think this also does overlap with me having to explain to people why Israel and Australia are in Eurovision because Europe is not a geographical location. It is about per capita white people with dreads.
But then Argentina would be in it as well.
Oh, they're dying to be in it.
Probably, gagging for it.
Yeah. So then, what is then? I guess like because you've mentioned the sense of like the like this like Indian connection to Goa. You meant that there's this like so. You mentioned the sense that like there's of course Brits doing the cool thing, going there. Starting in this own deal of Goa trans being cool, totally not problematic, and but there's also an Israeli version of that then too that you mentioned that there's like an Israeli community in India that kind of like is like the same.
Yeah, well, there's a massive Israeli or spiritual sort of a Mecca trip to India that they make. They're obviously influenced by certain forms of Eastern thought, but like only the nihilistic ones that only I matter and nothing else is real outside of me. And they stop right there, instead of going further, that's it. Like, and so you'll just have, and it's obviously very cheap too. And when I was in India, when I would interact with Israelis there, one time I saw an Israeli get attacked by a monkey, and that was very funny. Because they tell you very, very explicitly, do not make eye contact with the monkeys, these rhesus macaques that are just everywhere. And this Israeli, after like this meditation thing, went right up to this monkey to take a picture, and the monkey lunged at her, and she flew back, and both of her sandals kicked off and went down the mountain. It's pretty awesome. But so in India, in Himachal Pradesh, where the Tibetan community is, in Dharamsala, you have Dharmkot on the other side of the mountain. And it's all Israelis. It's completely taken over, completely colonized by Israelis. And the signs are in Hebrew, and they just bully the local population with their money, basically. And there are lots of spats. There typically like fights occur every once in a while because they're not particularly welcome there, even though our Indian Twitter friends seem to love Israel.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a connection here with the sense of just that there is like a massive, Zionist army of people in India who's my favorite one? The guy who then was always like, I am in Tel Aviv. Like I'm in, like he just lies about being
Vivid.
Yeah, he rocks.
Vivid. Yeah, he's awesome.
That's purely the like uniting factor of Islamophobia, I thought, right? Because modern India is also doing this whole like Hindu nationalism thing. Let's get all the Muslim Indians out.
Yeah, absolutely. But then when they start to actually interact with Israelis, I think they start to feel a little differently. But I think that there is just this sort of need for a cleansing of Israelis because they do their 3 years IDF and then they get to go travel and they pick certain places, and Goa and Himachal Pradesh are like two of the main ones they go to because they get that sort of weird pseudo spiritual experience, and they get to forget that they're fucking bad people and they did bad things, and that's a big part of it, I think, and that's why you're going. I don't know. They just approved MDMA therapy for PTSD in the United States. They're going to move forward with that. And Rick Doblin, who is like the guy who's been doing this for decades now, he actually met him because he went to college in my hometown, and he had just come back from Israel when I saw him. And they're giving like lots of MDMA therapy to Israeli soldiers, as well as Christian Lebanese, he told me, which was very weird, I thought.
Like the Maronites and shit? Like,
yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Like, for...
So...
Just cause?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. They're really trying to export this thing. And Rick Doblin himself is a pretty sus character. I actually met him at the commencement speech at New College of Florida, where Alan Dershowitz was the speaker. So he didn't like Alan Dershowitz, but he still liked Israel. So they had that in common. But Rick Doblin, he's been preaching the effectiveness of MDMA therapy for people who have dealt with some sort of trauma in their lives. And it's Israeli. I mean, they're not giving it MDMA to fucking Palestinians.
Yeah.
And so he had this dream. Rick Doblin had this dream in his early 20s that he was escorted back to witness a Holocaust survivor's narrow escape from the Nazis. His entire village was gunned down, and he was buried under the body. And then he escaped the body to tell Rick Doblin, you need to give people MDMA so that this doesn't happen again. And Psytrance and MDMA are like the perfect kind of combo for this thing too. I think that's the festival part of it, is like they are doing drugs.
Yeah.
And I think that MDMA, you can like empathize with your own evil self. You can forgive yourself momentarily. I gotta think it builds up and gets you eventually. But I think that they're trying to do this so that you can commit war crimes with greater ease.
Yeah, there is like a bit of, I don't need to make that comparison. There's no reason for me to do the one that's illegal in Germany. They're like, because there is this sense too of like the it's not the first, like, do you get a sense of that? Then it is also like not even just like a healing thing of like, oh, these poor guys, just like, oh, we could make the perfect like super soldier who doesn't like,
yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely,
because the U.S. has been trying to do that for like ever, of like, how do we make our operators more evil and like not care.
I mean, benzos would probably be better than MDMA, but this is the tact that they're doing for now.
But this has always been a problem. This was identified in World War I of like people don't actually want to shoot at each other, at other people. They're quite reluctant to do this unless you can like, and this is
why
we
you give your
to,
soldiers methamphetamine. It works.
Yeah, you do that, or like I guess Israel's like a country that hasn't done that yet, but like what America did, which is it moved to a professionalized army of like, we stopped conscription, we just let the psychos sign up. Yeah, like let them self-select of like the ones who don't want to shoot will probably not volunteer. So we've sorted that problem a little bit. I guess Israel is still like a mass conscription country.
Well, they also don't have that many people. They probably have per capita way more psychopaths than anybody else.
Yeah, not for lack of trying. Like, I mean, they made it that way, right?
Well, and that's the thing too that then I always just find very weird for then like a culture that then, you know, because we talked about on the bonus. Wait, was that on the bonus episode? Yeah, the which we were talking about yesterday of the flight of like kids that got like removed for like, you know, singing and chanting.
Yeah.
You know, quite horrific stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very interesting for even in the sense of like, you know, talking about Eurovision or whatever, where then Israel kind of does like it totes this line of like, oh, we are like culturally from top to bottom, like it's like a hyper militarist, very racist society where they're very like explicit about it, you know, like maybe not externally, but at least internally. So it's very obvious.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see things of like Israelis just being like to your face of like, oh yeah, like we need to kill all of them, you know, whatever, this and that and that.
The fucking rap song that was like super popular.
Exactly.
Over there.
You know, there is like all these things that kind of like culminate of, you know, I mean, to be fair, I think social media has also informed a lot of people as well that this is what the nation of Israel is very much so like, but then also like very much like conflicted in terms with then that exactly this like search for self, the search for, you know, enlightenment or forgiveness. And like, is it really a contradiction or is it just like some like cop out or is like because certainly if there's this thing that then is so big that then is even like, you know, there are even the sense of you know, IDF soldiers like in Gaza doing like Psytrance sets,
right,
and whatnot, and the, you know, the peace and love music and mentality and the I'm doing genocide thing typically don't seem to meet up, but there has to be something there. Like there has to be something of this like self-convincing thing of that then, oh, I am, you know, I am actually not doing the big bad. I am like, you know, I am a peaceful and loving person, even though I am like probably really racist and whatever.
I mean, not to cut you off there, Isaac, but like that was always the impression I got. Correct me if I'm wrong. That it's like it is kind of like the European, like the German Greens, like where it is just I've done this thing to project out to others and possibly to convince myself that I really do deep down believe in peace and love as I'm holding a gun like in Gaza. Like I always got the impression that it was like somewhat maybe performative feels like the wrong word. Virtue signaling also feels like the wrong word, but like self-denial maybe of just like, no, this is who I really am. Peace and love. Pew pew.
But is it really self-denial if you've just been taught your whole life that these people are not people and they deserve to die? And like you're like maybe in like, are they doing something wrong in their eyes by going to Gaza and shooting up little kids? Like they're doing target practice with people like getting flour. Like
I always question.
I think both things can exist in their mind. I don't think they're lying to themselves whatsoever. I think they're just like, no, but they don't count. Like, no, I would never kill a random person, a random white person in like Paris, whatever. But like, you know, they don't count. It's whatever. Like, I don't think it's really that, I don't know, whatever. Maybe I'm being too...
No, it's fair. Like, I mean, I think it's like complicated in the sense that like it's all certain levels of denial and there's this constant problem of like, I think it's very easy for like Israelis who are not currently in the IDF and are like talking heads on TV to be like, oh yeah, let's kill them all, let's annex the West Bank, let's annex Gaza. Like, I think you always come back to that World War I problem of like, yeah, when you actually confront it psychologically, things start to break down a little bit. So they're going to play some Psytrance to try and get through this, whatever that means.
I think it is a matter of compartmentalization and a sense of like earning it. I think that the fact that it is a matter of them doing their service and then getting some sort of subsidy. I mean, who knows how they're paying to travel like this? to other countries to release these things. And you'll see videos all over the internet of the sense of entitlement that Israelis have absolutely everywhere they go. Because I think there's this sort of like, yes, I did bad. Yes, I did this. Yes, I come from this country. And now it's time for me to like chill out and let it go. And so I think that's the part of ecstatic dance and the purging through psychedelics. Like, I don't know if you guys had this naive notion when you were younger that if everyone just did acid, like the world would be a better place, man. Like, can't they just see? They just need to have their eyes open. I mean, we're just like supreme rationalization machines. And I think that Israelis just are in overdrive in that regard when it comes to justifying what they do. And I think you're absolutely right. Like, by performing this sort of like Eastern, like I love peace thing, they get to sort of like concentrate and put away all the evil that they did.
We were saying on the bonus episode, I was saying that how I enjoy, hey, preview for the bonus episode this week, I do enjoy the new genre video of Israeli tourists yelling at Japanese people.
Yeah.
It always seems to be Japanese people, or at least the videos I get. I don't understand how the economics work of it. Is it something similar to like how a lot of other armies do, where like you're paid the entire time, but you're not using any of the money because you're in barracks and stuff like that? You're just like, your food and like accommodation is provided for by the IDF, but you're still getting a wage. So you just kind of come out of the years of service and just end up with like a bunch of disposable income.
Well, I think that's why India is so popular, because it's incredibly cheap. But as for the ones who go to Tommorrowland, maybe they're just like familially wealthy or something like that. But I think what was especially egregious about the Tommorrowland one is that they brought their brigade's flag with them.
Yeah, that's a bit like that's really telling on yourself.
And so, you know, they're not leaving it behind. I think, you know, a lot of Israelis will travel with like a Spanish sticker or something on their backpack so that people don't know. But that one was just like particularly brazen, and it's getting more and more brazen.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, has it gotten like worse since October 7th?
Absolutely. And again, I think the Nova Festival, and I don't know how conspiratorial you guys are about that, but the fact that the Israeli government moved the festival right in front of that kibbutzim like a day prior to the attack is very strange. And so I think that now that the music itself has been attacked, now the music is an expression of victimization and triumph simultaneously. It's like, you tried to kill us while we're playing this music, but we're still dancing, right? That's their slogan, right?
That was literally this year's Eurovision entry.
Yeah, it's this year's Eurovision entry. The thing that I'm curious of, though, is that then because in like the Eurovision circles, this hasn't worked. They have not really. They have not bought the pink washing or whatever, Psytrance washing, whatever you want to call it. Has any of this kind of tactic, like in these, you know, because in the club scene in Berlin, it's a bit weird in the sense that there is this like still like a sympathy towards Israel, but it's not for a music reason. It's not for like this kind of like cultural export thing. It's simply for the sense of that there's like the anti-Deutsch movement, this and that and that. Has there then been like, you know, sympathy driven through then like this, you know, like through then the scene, I guess, itself of like these, you know, festivals or Psytrance itself or whatever? Or is it just because it's so essentially Israeli, it kind of can't like spread?
I think internally, yes. But the thing about these festivals is that they have with them that radical inclusion, peace and love, like zero conflict component to it. So Israelis get to be safer than they would, I think, in other spaces. Yeah. Try and go to a fucking football club with your Maccabi Tel Aviv and get your fucking ass kicked, because they don't have that. They don't do radical inclusion, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I know the government will cover for them, but the people don't. And I don't think in general the Hasbara is weak. It's been so weak. It's been exposed as just like terrible, which is also why Israelis aren't actually Jewish. We should be good at telling stories and propaganda, but they're so bad at it that again, Israel's showing its ass that it's not actually Jewish. It's, you know, crypto Protestant stuff.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's very U.S. coded through all of it.
But no, I don't see it working. I mean, there's that joke online where it's like, I'm Israeli and this is my art. It's like nobody likes this stuff. Nobody likes them, and so I don't see a future for it. I mean, they'll probably try something else, but what are they making that anybody likes?
That's actually like something that then I wanted to ask as well, is that like Israel there's this guy who keeps getting suggested to me, and he's not Israeli, but I feel culturally he's very similar in that regard. It's a Greek German guy who just keeps like painting Lamborghinis, like not actual Lamborghinis, but just like pictures of Lamborghinis.
Paintings of
Lamborghinis and like lions and like just the gaudiest, trashiest shit.
Sick.
And he's just constantly always like doing these like very like epic like oh, here's mein Kunst, and just like, painting garbage, and it like clearly is stuff that you would like see hung up, in like I don't know, like just like it is just like the shit for just like tacky bros or whatever. And whenever I saw that, I thought for the first bit that the dude was Israeli, because it was so bad and it was so just devoid of everything but just like the most literal interpretation of like, I'm going to paint a car because I've seen a car, or like a lion. Lions are cool and strong, or it has really much.
It's like art that you would see in like famous footballers' houses.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Bitcoin art.
Bitcoin art. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel that then that like, Israel just only kind of does like that. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, there probably is like, legitimate Israeli artists, fine, whatever. But my general, it is like it is that guy. It is like the King Azulis of the world.
Yeah.
I think a handful of the legitimate Israeli artists who make something that'll actually make you feel something are probably the ones who are having their like opinions censored right now, because do you think like a deep amount of empathy is required for art? And I think those people are the ones who are like, occasionally we'll get like a piece in the Guardian being like, I'm Israeli and I fucking hate what's happening. And I genuinely believe they do, but it's just like, that's one guy and you're not in the government. So
where's your painting of a Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Where's your real art?
It is interesting. You mentioned the like weak like propaganda, the Hasbara. Like I find that fascinating because I don't know, maybe you can shed light on this. I don't know if that's like genuinely weak, or if Israel has mostly focused on this message of like us owning the Irish or whatever in some capacity, like Palestinians or whatever. That was a great one.
Oh, that rips. That's cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. Like all of that shit really strikes me as that this can't be for an external audience. This is for Israelis who already support what's going on to feel good. Like we are owning our enemies. We are owning our detractors, owning in the sense of like, Counter-Strike. We're not like, and because like people will like definitely say that about stuff that's put out in Hebrew for sure. Like the stuff for the domestic audience is like insane. But then, like, a lot of Israelis have pretty damn good English. And so I have to assume that a lot of the stuff that is in English, of like, here's where we owned Pedro Sanchez or something, is for Israelis to feel good about themselves. And they're like, have given up trying to convince the rest of the world?
That's a good question. I mean, I would also say that it should be in Russian then, because of the millions of Russians that were exported to Israel to increase the white population. I don't know. That's a really good question, because I do assume when I see something in English, it's like, well, who is this? They're directing this towards me. Why would Benjamin Netanyahu make some sort of speech in English, but if not for an American audience? So that's a really good point. I really don't know. I couldn't answer that question with any sort of confidence that it's. But I do think that it is like for everything at some point would be internally for Israelis, because shit's fucking popping off there too. They don't really like each other very much. They don't get along. So you have to wonder at what point will they start turning on each other. I mean, that's kind of what we're all hoping for at some turn or another. So perhaps.
Collapse.
I know.
Kieran, you can't legally say that on this show. I'm just
Can
kidding.
you not, or can I not?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. Say whatever you want.
The Interpol is after you.
Yeah, Interpol has to intervene on this fucking stupid podcast.
Yeah, Interpol has also taken up Deutsche Staatsräson.
Somehow, even though it's all a bunch of just like guys who were just a little too hand grabby for like regular French police.
What? That's like, well, whatever.
The only thing I think that would make sense in the English Hasbara that we're seeing is for Jews in America. I mean, I still you still see like a pretty significant chunk of support by Zionist American Jews, even a lot of liberal Zionists. Yeah. So perhaps that appeals to them. But something like the pager, the Hezbollah thing, which was fucking evil. I don't think American Jews had that much of a stomach for it. Even that didn't really work for them. So it's hard to say. I don't see it working on American Jews, at least.
Yeah. Like I always like everything that is directed towards Ireland is just so aggressively combative that like, I mean, the classic one is like when they get rid of the Irish ambassador to Israel Katz, he has one move and he shows them the supposedly, the October 7th snuff film. And it's just like, no one can rightly think that would endear anyone to you. Like, no one's going to come out of this film and be like, oh yeah, now I support Israel. Gal Gadot's a great actress. But like, they do it anyway. And that, like, my opinion is always that's got to be for them to consume. That's got to be for like rallying the troops back home.
Perhaps, yeah. I mean, and who knows exactly what they're getting in Israel because the censorship is so intense there. But even when you had those ambassadors in D.C. that got shot, I thought it was going to be a much bigger deal than it turned out to be.
Yeah, me too.
It kind of just went away in less than 5 days, and nobody ever talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
So,
the only other thing that I can see from this is just like an obstructionist kind of sense of like the Hasbara is not necessarily bad. It's just kind of absurdly obtuse that it just delays any kind of like meaningful conversation.
Yeah, it's like having the same argument over and over and over again. I mean, they just released another sort of supposed evidence of sexual assaults by Hamas, which again was just the fact that we have to have this conversation again.
Yeah.
Is very bizarre, and everyone just has these knee-jerk slogans to work with. Release the hostages. That's still a big rallying cry here or in America.
Yeah. Something kind of to revert back to then like the the festival aspect of this Israeli acceptance, whatever, internationally. Do you feel that then, I mean, from just your experiences of kind of like you mentioned that you noticed that this was like a thing post October 7th, that there is this like, thing that Israel is very much into, and that they're in these spaces that then are like, peace and love, everyone's welcome. Is that welcome like being a bit worn out? Like, is there, because you mentioned the sense that like, Burning Man had they were going to have this, Palestine solidarity thing that, got ruined by, who their clientele is. But, is like, do you like, is there, like, I mean, none of us went to Tommorrowland. We don't know what it was like there on the ground, but surely then like the peace and love crowd maybe soon be like, peace and love can't be here if like Israelis are also taking part in it, or are they so jaded that they're...
I think you saw that at Coachella recently, even like Green Day made like these pretty explicit admonishments of Israel. I don't think you're going to see that at Burning Man because it's supposed to be apolitical. And I think that that's why Israelis sort of thrive in these spaces, is you're supposed to abandon these things. You're supposed to abandon your nationality, your creed, your whatever.
We're just all human, man.
Yeah. Whereas like, I think in these other like sort of music festivals that aren't, I guess, woo-woo in nature, they are more politically motivated. They will be much less welcome there. But I still see Israelis saving up their shekels to go to Burning Man because it does give them that chance, especially because these festivals, you get to put on a persona. Like it's all about like pranksterism. And so you get to be somebody else. So the fact that they chose to be fucking, out themselves as genocidal maniacs is like just like brazen. And I think that other Israelis will probably be a little more careful about that and pretend to be, just stupid French sounding people. I really can't get over why they sound French to me.
I agree.
chose that.
Yeah,
They picked that.
they did make that voice for
Yeah,
themselves.
they did.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But yeah, I mean, because that's like
there's a
that was-
linguistic reason for this. I'm sure.
Well, that was the thing that was so funny about like at Glastonbury, where they're like, oh yeah, Kneecap, we're gonna we're gonna censor or not show their performance, blah 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 blah. But whenever you would like just look at the crowd, there's just like a sea of Palestinian flags.
right.
It's like you
Yeah,
don't
I mean-
need. Yeah, what's the point?
we talked about this with like how they all went after Bob Vylan, and they're just like every news story about Bob Vylan is just ignoring the fact that everyone was chanting with him.
Yeah,
Kind of thing is like that part of this is being conveniently let out. I think there is also like my guess is that there is also this kind of like pop star aspect to these things, because like you see this with Kneecap, where like with Glastonbury there was a bunch of bigwig musician people who all said Kneecap shouldn't play. We're sending you this email signed by like 20-something people, bigwigs in the music industry. We don't think Kneecap should play. Glastonbury then just leaks the like email. Those people face like consequences. It was like it was the manager of Fontaine's DC. I got this wrong in a previous episode. Fontaine's DC, and they were also the manager of who's the band everyone
Massive
thinks
Attack.
Banksy's in?
Massive Attack. Yeah, where they
Yeah.
Massive Attack was their show was canceled in Berlin like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like that manager.
I wonder why.
Yeah, that manager got fired, and like, what? Olivia Rodrigo makes a statement as well that she's like, "I think people should live," and then the Israelis
they were
get
so
mad.
upset about that. The Israelis
They
said we don't. Oh man, there's a great tweet where this guy's like, "We lost 6 million Jews, but she has 40 million followers. I don't think we can survive this." It's so fucking crazy. It's awesome.
But like that kind of like pop star, like I have an identity, I have a face kind of aspect of music festivals means that all these musicians eventually just kind of have to like make a statement, or you think they would. Whereas I feel like Psytrance feels a bit more faceless to me, where like the DJ who plays the set is maybe never on mic and like doesn't have to make a statement ever.
It's very niche.
that-
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Like, they're
also
not
sucks
expected
that
to make an
anybody can
opinion,
do
like-
it, so you don't need you don't need an artist to do it, because Psytrance is just so dumb and easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. That's also just a corner Späti point of don't become a DJ any type, just steer clear. Yeah, no, because there is even like that's the thing too, is that then look at the very few like superstars that are Zionists, like they're fucking just dogged at like all the time for just being stupid.
Ozzy just died.
Yeah.
Oh, they're dying.
Yeah. Or the funniest one being David Draymond of Disturbed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just like they're fucking losers.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't believe the members of Rage Against the Machine would betray me this way. And it's like there's positive references to the Intifada from Rage Against the Machine songs from nearly 30 years ago. You fucking dumbass. Like, the way that Zionism particularly affects Americans, Jewish or otherwise, seems to be like, there's a lot of people staying quiet when we're talking about like pop music. There's a lot of people speaking up, but then the ones who speak up in favor of Israel just quickly stop being normal. Like they kind of become very unhinged.
It's like the transphobia in the UK.
Yeah, you'll never post normal again. Once you
never
post about
be-
Zionism. Yeah.
Once you become a TERF, you're never
never post
gonna.
normal.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
That Tom York letter that he wrote explaining
Oh,
his
God,
thing was
yeah.
unhinged. That was
Yeah.
so bizarre.
He's the true victim of October 7th. Yeah.
Is it the same guy that had like a mental breakdown on stage because they threw like a Palestinian flag at him and he like walked out of
He
Yes.
walked off.
stage?
Was that him?
Yeah, that was
I
Tom
that
York.
radio?
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That one bums me out. That one's kind of a bummer.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I like Radiohead.
That's fair.
I enjoy some of their songs, but I never at
disagree
no
with
point
you,
had any
but yeah.
illusions that they weren't idiots.
Johnny Greenwood
Touche.
rocks though. I love Johnny Greenwood.
Yeah, that's the thing too,
Fair.
is that then that like Radiohead has just become like Tom York. Like it really is a bit annoying that the most annoying member of that band is
Well, the drummer died,
yeah.
so
No,
He was the voice of reason. He was the anti-Zionist.
he was keeping Tom York chained
exactly.
and reasonable.
And then Mossad killed him.
But you saw this with a Big Thief. I think one of their band members was Israeli, and I think they went to Israel. And then since then, like Andrea Lenker, the face of Big Thief, has kind of like ventured off on her own, and they kicked out that one band member, the Israeli band member,
because they're an anti-Semitic band, then, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Who's that American actor who's always doing the face cam videos?
Oh,
Michael
Rappaport.
Yes,
the reddest man on earth. Yeah.
You gotta be a good anti-Semitism so bad, man. That's my best Michael Rappaport.
That's pretty good. It's kind of the thing of just I see his face, but mostly it's now from I'm in Tel Aviv. Where's the apartheid? Where's the apartheid?
Yeah, there is still I think the thing about Zionism too that then's always just very interesting to me, especially living in a country that then loves being on the side of Israel, is how even the the German mind can't comprehend how American it is. There is I know in the sense of, yes, of course there's a history of all, but the way of how the discourse and the posting and all this stuff that then kind of surrounds Zionism post October 7th is very much focused, as you've mentioned, towards Americans and American Jews. It's not focused towards Germany, it's not focused to Europe, be nice to us, whatever. The discussion's kind of lost there. But all the stuff that I see of whether it be the shitty the Berlin comedian guy,
Daniel Ryan Spalding.
Daniel Ryan Spalding, who's just I'm in New York and I'm in Tel Aviv, and there's so many sexy. What are we gonna do in this bomb shelter?
He's not even Jewish.
No, he's not. Exactly. No. He's just American.
Have you seen?
He's Croatian American.
Well, he's Canadian actually too.
Oh yeah.
He's from Canada.
Croatian Canadian.
He was a big fatso.
We know. We're very much aware.
He's a Berlin comedian. We know him. Don't worry.
Yeah. There are stories.
You explain for the audience, but just we've been haunted by this man.
Yeah.
Israel paid for his hair plugs in Ozempic, and so he's just majorly in debt.
They also put in a kill switch in him if God forbid he ever I
feel bad for
starts bleeding from the hair plugs.
Yeah.
I feel bad for all of the Israelis who have to have sex with him. You can tell they're this is your mission. You must complete your mission.
Yeah, it's like a conveyor belt just for him though.
Oh god, dude. Jesus Christ.
But or the ones that I get all the time that are my favorites of we moved from Brooklyn to Tel Aviv and we just love it, but our life is so much worse. But, and it there is this and I don't see, and I get a bunch of content in different languages. I'm a worldly man, I'm a citizen of the world, dare I say.
Sometimes the man painted the Lamborghini speaks German.
Yeah,
sometimes he speaks Turkish.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes he speaks Greek.
Does not matter. The Psytrance lifestyle is definitely, it's hit home for me as a citizen of the world. But I never see this content directed at anyone else but Americans. And I mean, your observation is going to be, I guess, different because you live in the United States, so then you have the sense of seeing these freaks a bit more and being very online. But I don't see it in German, which you would expect for a country that then is Israel's number one fan. There's not much Zionist shit that's being made for them, especially because you mentioned to me too that then they love Germany for some reason.
Oh, in 2014 when I was in Israel, it was the World Cup, and that was your Germany won.
Yeah,
and I wrote a story for GQ about how all the Israelis were rooting for the German national team. And I just, my grandmother wouldn't listen to my sister sing opera if it was sung in German. So the fact that you had all these Jews who were rooting for Germany just seemed absurd to me. Yeah, that was weird. I mean, there's that generation of Jews in America who still fucking hate Germany. I
mean, rightfully so.
Yeah. Let's hope that comes back. But it's I think even Netanyahu said Hitler didn't actually want to kill the Jews, right? So there is this kinship forming, I think.
Yeah. I love that then Benjamin Netanyahu and Candace Owens have the same politics towards Hitler now.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
British. Yeah.
I do I don't think we've said it yet, but I do want to mention that this these guys in Tommorrowland who were like arrested and questioned and whatnot. This was the response. This was the the actions of the Hind Rajap Foundation, who is like basically trying to make this a thing on the idea of what is it? Global jurisdiction, which is a legal concept that's not necessarily practiced too much, but like they're trying to make it a thing. And apparently have had success before with doing this in Israelis visiting like Chile or Brazil. Like it's apparently worked quite well in some Southeast Asian countries as well as like Latin America. And they were celebrating this because it was the first time they'd ever gotten like a European government to respond to one of their like, hey, these two guys have entered your country. We have like video evidence of them committing a war crime. Can you please do something about it? And they're celebrating, even if this like goes nowhere, that they were like arrested, questioned, and this case is ongoing. They're pretty happy that this is like, they're pretty happy that this feels like the correct first step in their like wider goal of like these people should not feel safe traveling internationally.
Because didn't they try it in the Netherlands before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the government didn't do anything.
That was the Maccabi Tel Aviv thing, right?
No. But like this foundation, there was an IDF soldier, basically same kind of case. Like there was an IDF soldier that was vacationing somewhere. I think it was the Netherlands, and they called for his arrest because they had videos of him doing war crimes. And nothing happened in the end. Like I remember seeing it on like social media, whatever, that this call for the arrest have been done, but nothing happened. So yeah, I guess
because this idea of global jurisdiction is like different from the ICC or ICJ puts out an arrest warrant and then you can act. It's kind of the idea of getting states and police services to act before that comes about. Like you can say, look, we have evidence of this guy committing a war crime. Can you at least just arrest him and figure this shit out?
Yeah, I still encourage individuals to citizens arrest any Israeli they see in their country, and then they go straight to The Hague. That's what I say.
We just like do a Psytrance festival at like The Hague, and then suddenly like
trap them.
The Potemkin festival falls down. It's just the court.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would easily get them. 100%. I think you're onto something, Kieran. You should pitch that.
Dane Haag. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Sounds exotic. Isaac, thank you so much for coming on and explaining all of this to us. Always good to get the Psytrance experience firsthand.
Thanks
I
for having
never
me.
have to listen to the music. I just
I did it all.
No,
for
Nick,
you.
you're going to actually put it in as like a background music for the whole podcast.
I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm good.
Like really with the bass turned up and the treble turned all the way down, so it sounds like we're having this podcast in the next room at a Goa festival.
That's a cool idea, actually. But no, I did that once for an episode when Riley came on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just visits Berlin to
Yeah. I did like because he was like he spent a bit talking about Berghain, so I just like had to do that.
Isaac, where can people find you and your lovely work?
Oh, well, I'm on Twitter. I won't call it the other thing. At COEXIST Inc. INC. I make a shit post at gluten_daddy. And then you can listen to me on all the platforms. I did get banned from Spotify, so I'm under NoExist Inc. now if you want to listen to me on Spotify. But yeah, pleasure, fellas, and Uma. This was really fun.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. And we will catch you on the bonus feed. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.